Good morning, and it's Wednesday, June the 24th, and time for another few words. I got to tell you, I've been, at times sit in my office here and I'm thinking so many thoughts in my head, what to say, what comes into my mind. It takes sometimes more preparation just to come up with a little thought. And the thought that kept coming to me was an event that happened this last weekend and how it impacted me and how it impacts, I think, so many people in our society today. Um, we had this last week, we had our outreach where we go out as a group of us, we go down to, from the parish, go down to um, our spot off of Bush Boulevard to give some relief, some food and some clothing, some donuts, coffee, gift cards, and just a presence to remind people who are struggling on the street or in need, at least to remind them that they're not alone, you know, and to heed the message of Jesus, to do for other and to love your neighbor as you love yourself, to remind them and to give them a sense of dignity and remind them of their place in the human race, so to say, that they're not forgotten, that they're not a no one. They count for something, they matter, they're important. And they just need, everybody needs to feel that in their life. Well, it also was how we live sometimes so much in fear. And it struck me on the way there as I was driving there. I got there, I started a little later than usual. And I was right across the street from us, and boop, I saw this woman walking down the road. It was humid and hot, and I had some water in the car. And I felt compelled, oh, hey, I'm going to stop and I'm going to offer this woman some water. You know, I'm going to see if she could use some water, just to carry her, just let her know, you know, that people notice. Anyway, I stopped, I did a U-turn, came back, rolled my window down, and as she was crossing by, I said, excuse me, ma'am, would you like some water? You know, and her first reaction was, whip out the phone, and naturally so, you know. And it kind of took me aback, and I said, no, it's okay, ma'am, it's all right. I just was going to offer you some water. You look like you could use some water. But not identifying myself, even though I had my collar on, not identifying myself first, and you know, doing the necessary precautions to put her at ease. And I think I've frightened her. And I'm thinking, the thought came to me how many of us live right on the verge of fear. The littlest thing that acts with us, a little thing that sets us, that gets our attention, that's unwanted or unaccustomed, you know, that's different in our routine, it automatically raises our suspicions and raises our fear level. And we go to like DEFCON 1, 2, 3, 4, or 4, 3, 2, 1, whatever it happens to be, till we find ourselves on the verge almost of panic. And I think I frightened this woman, and for that I am deeply, heartily sorry. The intent certainly was just to give her some water, offer some water. But I understand her fear. I understand her worry, and I certainly could see it, you know, and I didn't want to add to it. But it was a reminder to me how often we live on the edge of fear in our life, whether it be fear of outside world entering into our little shell of a world that we have built, and that within which we are safe, we feel safe. And anything that comes through that wall, no matter how benign, can be usually looked at as a threat, you know. And it's unfortunate today that we're all looking askance at one another, that we're all looking outside, looking at each other with fear and with doubt, you know, with anxiety, that we don't give each other the benefit of the doubt. And that's society, that's a societal thing. And I understand the reality of that. It's not right or wrong. It's just the way it is. And I certainly need to become more aware of it myself, instead of just wanting to do. I saw an opportunity to do a good deed for someone, and I thought I would just take it. But it wasn't about me. It was about her and where she was at the moment. Walking, just taking her exercise and walking in humid day, and I interrupted that process for her, you know. My prayer is for all of us, whereas now you'd think it would maybe, it's not going to make me be afraid to do good for others or try to, if I see an opportunity to do good, to try to do good. But at the same time, I have to understand that there's a process of how to do it. Identifying myself first, making sure it's clear that I'm not a threat as much as possible. I try not to be a scary person. My prayer for us is look at yourself. What are we afraid of? Is it rejection? Is it fear? Is it anxiety? What causes us stress? What causes us fear? Is it the fear of what other people think? All these things, we have to look at what it is. Is it financial worries? Is it personal? Is it relationship worries and fears? And we have to deal with them and remind ourselves of the words of Jesus himself, who said, do not be afraid. Do not live in fear. Take a step. Be courageous. Live the faith that you say you profess. Jesus tells us all the time, he told his apostles, don't be afraid. Peace be with you. Let me be with you, because I am with you always until the end of the age. Trust me, trust my words. And whereas our first reaction might be, fear. I mean, I jumped how many times during the year with the young people outside, the kicking soccer balls, it hit my window. It just startles me. It didn't make me afraid, it startled me. And I once I knew what it was, fine. But we need to deal with the fears in our life, confront them, and understand there's nothing worth losing our peace of mind and our peace in our souls over. Nothing. It's too hardly won, too hardly worked for. As we continue with our celebration and this new day, on July the 24th, the birthday of John the Baptist, and also the commemorative day of Mary, Help of Christians, on the 24th of each month. My prayer is that we deal with our fears, that we become less a fearful people and always remind ourselves of the need to look for opportunities to do good and do them. Take the precautions that you need to take, but do the good deeds always. Always charity, always, in every situation, in every circumstance, in every way, and in every opportunity that comes our way. St. Francis de Sales was a proponent of that. And we are spiritual sons and daughters of his. So I ask you to please think in terms of that. Always do good. Don't be afraid ever to do good. Keep your eyes open and your heart open as well. Mary, Help of Christians, pray for us. Mary, Help of Christians, pray for you. God bless you all. And peace, hope, joy, light, and the love of Jesus be with you and in your hearts, not just today, but every day. See you next week.